Greetings and welcome back, one and all, to the 8th day of reassembly. Look at our fleet, it grows, it hungers. It is actually getting quite powerful at this point. I am really quite impressed with how powerful our fleet is becoming, thanks to the Tess as well, for building more and more Gilgamesh. Now, in this episode, once again, we're going to be making two fighters, but I'm going to try and stick to a little bit of a closer... I'm going to do my best to try and stick within budget this time. I am really not sure that I'm going to be able to. I have failed almost every other time I've tried, so, you know, walk into this with eyes wide open. You know what to expect, it's me. At the end of the day, if you think I'm going to be able to stick into budget, then you really haven't seen enough of my Let's Plays yet. I hope you stick around to see quite a lot of them, but you have much to learn. Right, let's... Oh, no, I kind of like having that around there. Now, we're going to need a fair chunk of power for this because it is going to be a shielded vessel with a rapid fire weapon. Now, I am going to try and make it a smaller vessel, though. It's meant to be a fairly heavily shielded one, so I am going to try and stick with that design. But... And also, it's meant to have a shape like a shield. Now, how I'm going to interpret that is that it's meant to have a lot of armor at the front. I'm going to assume that I'm not being asked to make it actually shaped like a shield. Simply because if someone wanted me to do that, then they would really have to tell me which shield I'm meant to shape it after. There are an awful lot of different shields. But we'll do something like this to start off with. We will also have the, let's see, center of mass is over there. We are going to want, you know what, we can have the forward thrust somewhere up there. Now, we are going to want the pulse blasters. That is going to be the weapon of choice for this particular build. And for that, we're going to need something like this in the middle. There we go. And then we can have the blast pulses on either end of it. Now, I've no idea how good this design is going to be. How well the blast pulses are going to work. Honestly, I haven't really used them enough in my own game to have any idea of how to make use of them. But we're going to give it our best shot all the same. Would this connect in there? No. No, we'll leave that out then. Now, we will bring down a little bit more actual armor, but around here is going to be, well, we're going to put the power in first. Let's get that going. We're going to want, with the center of mass all the way over there, well, actually, we'll take this out. No. No, we will have to have that there. What I'm looking for is where we're going to put the thrusters, but I think we're going to have the thrusters about here. Now, we're going to build this out to the 6 and then just copy this down. We're going to have a lot of speed on this particular ship. We're also going to try and avoid having too much heavy armor to slow it down. I realize I'm saying that just as I'm adding more, but I am going to try to stick with this. Now, we'll have the maneuvering thrusters there and there. There and also there. And then we'll have these thrusters bring us down just a little bit more. There we go. That should give us enough to... that's not quite what I wanted to do. That should give us enough thrusters to maneuver any which way we want. And because these thrusters are behind the center of mass, it should allow us to move things around. I'm not 100% on that, actually. You know what? Let's... expand this out and use double thick blocks just back here. I don't want the thrusters to be that vulnerable. Exactly. I know I'm trying to keep this build from getting too heavy, but that did look like it was just asking for trouble, honestly. Let's shrink that down. Grab that there, and then bring this down along the side. Actually, okay, maybe not. How about this then? We'll have a long line of these, and that'll connect the thruster section. Okay, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Let's mirror this, slide that in there. Okay, we've got a bit of a shape to it. And we're still under budget, which is always very, very good to see. Very rare for me. Now we are going to spend a lot on shields, though. So there's every possibility we are about to have to kiss goodbye to that being under budget malarkey. Let's bring this down as well. There we go. That should be good enough, I would say. Let's pop in the shields. That actually isn't good enough at all. We need this shield to be a little bit further forward. In fact, we probably need more shields than this. Considering what was asked, how much are they? They are expensive, but at the same time, it's what was asked for. So, mine is not to question why. There we go. That is as much shielding as I dare place on this vehicle. And we will have this start to branch out. About yay long. And the same there. And then probably about, well, actually increase its size there. There we go. Now we want to expand that. I am probably going to do the rest of this just on one side and then mirror it over once I'm settled on the design. There we are. And maybe have something along these lines. I mean, right now it's not so far out of budget that I'm going to worry too much about it. Ooh, actually, that looks nice. Ooh, that looks really nice. I like that. I like that design. Maybe if we mirror this around, though, let's experiment with how these prongs look. Actually, I prefer that. That does look better to me. Now, down here, we'll get rid of you. We'll have something more akin to this. And then another one of these, just smaller. Perfect. How about this as well? Actually, I really, really like that. That looks good. To me, at least. Let's get rid of everything on that side. Dump that. Grab all of this. And you. And all of this. And that. There we go. Mirror it. And we should just about have what we're looking for. Fantastic. Yeah, let's add this little beak. Damn it, I need a beak on everything. I've got a problem, I think. There we go. In fact, let's bring that out and then just have that slightly displaced. There we go. Now, there was a request for these to be the main weapon, but also point defense. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure how we could fit in point defense while still remaining in budget, but I'll do my best. We'll probably use flak, even though that's the more expensive. It is going to push the price up, but it's still more or less in budget. Let's see how this works now then. It's a bit of an interesting design. Oh, damn it! Snowcatcher, be gone! I dislike you. Proton swords, that's not great. It's fast though, I like it. Now, obviously, this thing is going to punch a hole through us, but the main weapon on this thing is largely there to take out shields and to also take out smaller craft. The pulse blaster, basically just omnidirectional pulse of bullets, which would be absolutely atrocious for any shields because it would just be hitting the shields over and over and over again very, very quickly and would just pull them down. I've seen enough there. I don't think we're going to be able to break through that. We're certainly not going to be able to break through that. But I'm happy with that as is. Okay, we're going to save that one. I will rename it in a moment. Now, we're going to work on the second. Now, this one is meant to be a bit of a long-range missile ship. But being a smaller vessel, I'm not sure how we're going to be able to do this. We're certainly not going to be able to have the missile racks that we do on the Nebuchadnezzar. But we may be able to do something similar without going overboard. Now, the main thing with this is that specifically I was asked not to make it very heavily shielded. That's all fine by me. That just means I don't need to worry too much about going over budget, really. And I am all for that. However, I feel that it is important for us to have some point defense in here, if that's going to be the case. So, question is, what type of point defense? Yeah, we'll go with flat cannons. We'll just pop those in there. We'll have 2 power plants. We'll have 2 shields. This might be the only shielding that we... Well, no, we will put more shielding than this, but we're not going to go overboard with this one. The shielding is meant to be fairly scarce. I could have 1 more shield maybe down there somewhere. We'll bring this out. Push this down a little bit. There we go. And this one out there. But again, if you can hear my that little bit of squeaking there, that's unfortunately my tumble dryer. At least it works though. I don't care if it squeaks, as long as it, you know, dries things. That's the most important part to me, is the drying of my clothes. Okay, that's not too terribly bad. We could have plenty of thrust back here. I'm actually going to swap those out, and we're going to use these, but expand it up. We'll drag that out a little bit. There we go. There we are. Yes, I like that. We'll have possibly... Well, I was going to say thrusters along that side, but at the same time, we could instead just move this along so it's a little bit more symmetrical. I know there are those among you who are like, oh, not this symmetry nonsense again. Alas, there's not much I can do. Well, there is, but I'm not going to do it. Yes, we want to get rid of you. And then we will mirror this. There we go. Now, we'll fill this out with smaller blocks there. And we'll have thrusters on the sides. Now, what I'm hoping to do is get this center of mass further out, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that. Would be ideal if we could, but I suspect not going to happen. We'll grab this, pull this up here. On the plus side, you know what? I'm going to give this more of an ability to reverse than to go forward. The reason being that I feel that a long-range missile fighter type ship is going to be in need of that more. There we go. We'll mirror this up there. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. We'll grab you, expand you out a fair bit. Okay, there we go. Mirror that on this side. Now, the part that I'm uncertain of is how we're going to set up the missile system. Let's do something like this. We'll have the beak going on here. There we are. Now, I mentioned that I didn't think we're going to be able to do missile racks, but at the same time, that is actually one of the best ways to have missiles at all, in my opinion. Let's see what we can do. We'll just have missiles going along this neck section here. We're already getting very close to our limit. There we are. We're hitting it already. How about we expand that out? So this is basically going to be a smaller version of the Nebuchadnezzar in many ways. We'll pull this out a little bit. We'll actually replace this with one of these. There we go. And pop that in there. I don't actually see a problem with that, all things told. Nebuchadnezzar is a damn fine vessel. Okay, so yeah, this is basically a micro Nebuchadnezzar, but has a fairly potent ability to retreat from combat. And we'll just add this along here to protect the missiles from nothing really, because it's very unlikely that these would be enough to protect it from anything, really, when we're talking about it. But yeah, I quite like this, honestly. Let's see, if I expand this out, you know what? Yeah, let's kind Can I expand all of them out? No. Alas. I can expand them, but I can't have them remain connected. Bit of a shame that, but on the whole, I'm sure I'll live with it. Let's get rid of you. Let's duplicate this. There we go. That looks a bit better. Bit chunkier defense there. Yeah, honestly, I don't think there's much more that we can or should add. Let's actually get rid of some of these. We'll replace this with just regular hull there. I don't think we need nearly as many point defenses as we've got here. Let's get rid of these. We'll just have a little bit of point defense at the front and at the back. Okay, there we go. In fact, I'm just going to displace these slightly. There. I quite like this. I'm thinking of moving the cockpit into the middle though, so it's not nearly as easy to destroy as it would be otherwise. And we'll drag this down. There we go. Is that all working? I think it is. Alright. Micro Nebuchadnezzar. There we go. Actually, can we attach these? I could, but I'm not sure there's much point. I could add these down the neck, though, to try and dissuade any damage to the missiles. No. I think I'm just adding things for the sake of adding them, and you must know when to stop when you're building ships. Okay, let's see how this one does. Hopefully its reverse thrusters will be enough to keep it away from being attacked there. That's right. Use those reverse thrusters to get you out of the danger zone. Launch all of the missiles. There we go. That's good. We've actually got 2 long-range missile bombardment ships fighting against each other. That actually amuses me. Oh, it's actually launched drones as well. That's impressive. We've lost the front shield. That's it. We're going down now. But you might still win because you've taken out their shield and you are just literally knocking chunks off their ship. You're already rebuilding your missiles, which is fantastic. Might be hard to get in there, but it looks... Yes, you've rebuilt the missile sections. Well done. That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Looks like you may win this. In fact, you will. You are going to win. And then you finish them off with a little bit of flak. Well done there. I am impressed. And you're a little small ship as well. I'm equally impressed with myself for having done that. Okay, well, it is time to name these vessels. The first shall be named the HMSS. Let's make sure I've got the spelling right. Or Mr. Shakespeare would hate me forever. We've got the HMSS Charybdis. Or Charybdis. I'm really not sure how the pronunciation should go at this point. We'll go with Charybdis and hope for the best. And we will also be having... There we are. Let's get you... Oh, no. Gotta delete from there. Ah! What did I just do? I pressed all of the buttons at once. It seems that I have to have the mouse over this in order to type it. We have got the HMSS Scylla. Now, these are 2 monsters from Greek legend, and the namer, or the requester, the winner of the 8th day of reassembly is Parzival Marethiu. I'm just butchering all of these the pronunciations of these names, and I do deeply apologize. Parzivia Marethiu. It is a Y and a U at the end of that name that is throwing me off something terrible. But congratulations to you for winning the 8th day of reassembly with the Charybdis and the Scylla. Now, the 9th day is just around the corner. We've got 2 more days left. But that is going to be it from me. With our 2 new additions to the fleet, I bid you farewell. That is the end of this, the 8th day of reassembly. The 9th is just around the corner. And I wish you all very good luck with winning the contest. Again, it doesn't need to be anything mythological, though I would prefer it if you list 2 ships to use. If you don't, I suppose, I'm not going to hold it against you. It is Chaoticles who's picking the winners after all, but it would be nice if we could have a couple of smaller ships to round off the fleet here. But that is going to be it from me. So once again, I do hope you liked. I hope you will be joining us for the next, but until then, and as always, do take care.